Okay, back to the crunchy oat cookies. Crunchy cookie oaties, or oaty crunchy cookies, or however you want to say them. Now we're going to put the flour in. Now this time we're going to put all the flour in. It's a really, really thick dough. But you can still add a little bit of time and work it in. And have fun working in it because it is kind of challenging. It's a little bit thicker than what you call chocolate chip cookies, because chocolate chip cookies you usually just stop when it's still a little bit tacky. What I suggest when you're putting the flour into the batter, just kind of do chopping action, and then when the flour disappears, because see, the thing is, if you put all of it in once, it's easier to control a little amount and mix it in. If you put all of it in once, then it's like you're working with all, it's overwhelming. So just chop it in. Now towards the end, if you want, you can actually grab it with your hand and work it in. There's a little bit left. There's either two ways you can do this. You can push down on it as you turn it around, or chop into it. So find what works best for you. Either way, it's hard. Okay, so I'm going to get my hands in there. And I don't know if you can see this, but I do have a tray, which I've already sprayed. And we're going to put this in the oven for 375, 10 to 12 minutes. Again, you want to watch this. And when these come out, they're going to be soft, so you want to transfer them right to a cookie drying rack, or like I said before, where is it? To make a lot of noise. Voila! Insto cookie drying rack. This can work as a cookie rack as long as it has holes in it and it can have air underneath the cookies. This works perfectly fine. So don't go, oh, I don't have a cookie rack. I think every stove out there comes with one of these. So look in your, well, mine doesn't have a bottom drawer, but a lot of ovens have a bottom drawer that has a whole bunch of stuff like this. And okay, so get your hand in there and just push it down. And this is going to be like working tortilla dough. Just push it down, fold it over. We want all of that loose flour at the bottom to be incorporated. And if you want, take it out. Now it's okay if you leave a little bit in there. Can't use all of it. Yeah, I got some dishes waiting for me. They're calling my name right now, so just kind of knead it. Okay, that's good enough. Get your scale out. Get your scale out. If you don't have a scale, it's an old story. It's just take a little bit off, roll it in your hands, cup your hands together, and it's not that you're squishing your hands together. You're cupping them, and if they move around in the middle of your hands, like they shake around, perfect size. Now, if it doesn't move, then it's too big. Now, I pat your hands with some flour because this is going to get sticky. Now, everyone's hand size is going to be different. So, whoa! Okay. The The one that got away. And of course we're not going to use that one. So about 1 inch apart. And when these are cooking, they should have a nice golden brown look, and the tops of them should have a cracked look, so there will be fissures in it. So if that wouldn't go too big. Now if you want, let's say you get interrupted and all of a sudden like, oh my god, I can't make cookies right now. I got the dough done, but we gotta go. Something happened. Take some saran wrap, take some foil out. Make this into a flatten it to a disc, flatten it. Put it in the foil, fold the foil over several times, and put it in the freezer. Be perfectly fine. Actually, you can actually freeze these, because these can be frozen, and then you can pull them out for later. So usually with cookie dough, it can stay in the refrigerator for 3 days. That's perfectly fine. After 3 days, I wouldn't use it. It can stay in the freezer a lot longer. I believe I'll have to look this one up because I want to make sure it's accurate. About a month. It can stay up to a month. You can see what happens after a month. It's going to take on the... It won't have the freshness of... It just absorbs other flavors in the freezer, unfortunately. Unless you got a really good, expensive sealed bag. Okay, so this is a little bit left. Let's turn our oven to 375. Stick it in, and you notice I don't temp. This is gas. There's no reason to temp it. Electric, I can understand because you're bringing it to temperature, but gas, instant flame. It's just, any cooking I've ever done, I've never temped it because brought it up to temp. But that's just the way I cook it. I don't time anything. My timer is me coming over and looking at it to make sure it's where it's supposed to be. So I won't tell you leave it in for 15 minutes or leave it in for 20 minutes. Well, actually I do, excuse me. I don't do that on my own. I basically get up, look at it, get up. It's just a routine I do. So that's the way I do it. So I'll see you back here in about 10, 12, 15 minutes. And we'll see how this turns out, and I'll time it so I can tell you when it came out, because everyone makes their cookies smaller, bigger. If you make big cookies and you put them in for 12 minutes and they're not done, it means they need to go back in for a little bit longer. If you make them smaller, they're going to cook faster. So always watch what you're cooking. I'll be back.